Hi, this is Autohaus Hamilton. I'm James. I'm here to talk to you once again about car parts, and what I'm going to talk to you about today are SSIs. SSIs are a brand of heat exchangers. In the last video that I did, I glibly mentioned SSIs and did no explanation of what SSIs are, what they do, or why you should care about them. So this video will hopefully address that. SSIs are a type of heat exchanger, and that again opens up another question. What is a heat exchanger? A heat exchanger is a way of getting warm air into the cabin of an air-cooled motor car. If your car runs a radiator, it'll also run what's called a heater matrix, which is basically a small radiator that sits somewhere behind the dashboard and is a way of providing warm air to heat the cabin and to demist the windscreen. If your car doesn't run a radiator, and clearly an air-cooled 911 doesn't have a radiator, then we need to find a different source for getting warm air into the cabin when we want it. And that source is heat exchangers. And the heat exchanger is basically just a box that's fashioned around the exhaust manifold, or the extractors for want of a better term. And by collecting heat from the exhaust, it provides warm air to use in the cabin. SSIs are, as I said earlier, a brand of heat exchanger. SSI stands for Stainless Steel Innovations, which was the name of the company that designed these things in the United States and was relatively recently bought out by JP Group. JP Group are the guys who manufacture Dansk mufflers, which people have been bolting onto air-cooled cars pretty much for as long as air-cooled cars have been in existence. So SSIs are important and interesting because not only do they provide warm air, they also provide a small performance increase over the standard exhaust manifold, and they also sound better than the standard exhaust manifold. There's three different types of SSIs depending on the type of car you have. There's a set of SSIs suitable for MFI cars, mechanically fuel injected cars. There's another set that is suitable for K-Jet cars, which is to say cars running from 1974 to 1983, and there's also a set suitable for the 3.2 Carrera. If you're running a car that's running carburetors, then the best fit is to use the K-Jet SSIs because they will fit and they're a little bit less complicated in their design than the SSIs for use on MFI cars. They do two things for you. They provide a small increase in power by having a slightly more efficient set of headers built within them, and they also sound better. If your car is an MFI car, they will just bolt straight on. If your car is one of the later models, there are a couple of adaptations you need to make. The first and biggest is to use a muffler with two inlets. So that's where exhaust gases exit the heat exchanger, and because the two heat exchangers are essentially mirror images of one another, you'll need a muffler with two inlets. MFI cars have that as standard, but the K-Jet and the 3.2 cars don't have that as standard. So for those cars you'll need a dual inlet muffler. You'll also need a pair of different oil lines because the oil plumbing needs to be routed slightly differently to cater for the different arrangement. You'll also need to alter the way warm air is fed into the cabin. That can be straightforward, or it can be a little bit more complicated if you want to have your car set up to look just like an MFI car's engine bay with the same tinware. But there are different ways to skin that particular cat. You'll also need a fitting kit which has the various gaskets and fasteners you need to attach the SSI to your car. I hope that's been interesting to you. As always, if you've got suggestions for other topics, please feel free to add them in the comments below, or if there's anything else you'd like us to know about, please either add comments or contact us by phone or email. You know how to reach us, and thank you very much for watching. Are we all done now? Good.